Hello, I hope you've had a fantastic summer. It's coming to an end, it's certainly coming to an end for the school holidays, which I've got mixed feelings about, if I'm brutally honest. Uh, but it's been nice to be able to get out and about more than we were able to at the start of the year. And before we broke for summer, we had a bit of an extended break with the theme of stories and narrative, which people could explore. So I'm going to share some of those photos that people have shared on that theme, and I'm going to add the other photos at the end of this clip, the unthemed photos, as I usually do. And it's just been brilliant to see what everyone's been getting up to and what and where they've been exploring during those summer months and weeks. So it's time for a new theme, really, and one of the things that I thought would be good to explore with people returning to work and schools and stuff is quiet spaces. Now, I know quiet spaces have been a hot topic in the media, with places like Malham being busier than ever, and Snowdon and places like that. And quiet spaces are really important for people as well, especially local people. And I think I love sharing spaces with people and places, but I know for myself and my own well-being, I really need to have some quiet spaces to myself from time to time and just feel alone in nature. I find it really powerful and it really helps me. So what I want us to do for this new theme as summer comes to a close is look for and look at quiet spaces. And I know it's not easy for everyone to find quiet spaces, so I'm going to share some tips to help you find some quiet spaces wherever you are. I grew up in London suburbs, so I'm no stranger to busy environments, but I always managed to seek out and find some quiet spaces. And I'll share some tips with you now, if I can breathe while going up this very gentle hill. I have to say, I don't want to make it sound like I'm doing so just out of breath. So the first one is timing, and probably the key one, really, timing. The earlier you get up, the later you stay out, the more of a space you'll get to yourself, the quieter it will be. So getting up early is a really great way of getting a space and a place to yourself and enjoying the quietness of it. Now, obviously, I know it's hard to get up. I don't get up easily, but I find one of the best ways to motivate yourself to get up is to set a goal. So that goal could be a sunrise, to photograph a sunrise. It could be to try and spot a kingfisher or an otter on a local river. Set a goal, and that will really give you that motivation to get out of bed. Don't look at the weather, don't look at conditions or anything. Just set a goal of, I want to see a kingfisher or an otter, I want to see a sunrise. And if you don't see one, if it's cloudy, murky, and you don't see a sunrise, I promise you, you'll still feel really good at getting up early and having that space to yourself and having some quiet time to yourself. So timing is perfect. One of my favourite times to photograph wildlife is on Friday nights when everyone's in the pub, and Saturday mornings when everyone's in bed. They really are great times to just get out because the spaces are always much more quieter and to yourself. So timing is a really key one. Going out when people are having dinner can be a good one as well, and just trying to time it so you have a space to yourself. Another way of finding quiet spaces, well, it may be a combination of two things really. One is getting a map and looking at footpaths that you might not have even known existed. When you look at an OS map, you'll be surprised at just how many little public footpaths that you might not have noticed before. So I'm doing it all the time, especially when I go to new places. I have a little look at the OS map and see some of these little routes that aren't so well trodden. Talking to other people as well can be a really key way of finding new routes and interesting routes and quiet routes. I can't tell you how many times this summer I've been talking to people that I don't really know very well, and they've told me some really quiet spaces that they've enjoyed, and then I go and check them out for myself and and by sharing that information with each other, find there's the argument of the more people you share it with, the more busy it becomes. But you know, sharing it with a friend is definitely not on the same level of sharing it in a national newspaper, and you know, you can find it that way. Quiet space, there's a runner there, but we'll go a different way. See, there's 2 public footpaths. He's gone on one, I've gone on the other. And it's as simple as that, choosing the quieter path. It can be as simple as that sometimes. Going out in not ideal weather can be a great way of, a really good way of enjoying some quiet time, some quiet spaces. Going out when there's raining. So, I mean, the classic was this morning. Went out down to the Weir. Now, the Weir over the summer has been a hot topic on the Facebook groups of our local Facebook group pages. They've been very, very busy, especially on the hot days. But I was there this morning. It wasn't particularly wet. It's just a bit grey, overcast, a bit grey. And there was maybe 2 or 3 people, whereas in the past there's been hundreds of people, particularly on the sunny, bright days. So it's bank holiday today. And this morning, not especially early, just went out there. Nice family of swans above the Weir, and pretty much the place to ourselves. So the Weir, so even the most popular spots can be quiet if you time it right, or you go out in conditions that don't cause the masses to descend upon it. So those are other options too. So that's just a few ideas really, and hopefully that's enough to help you try and find those quiet spaces and places that you can go and feel, you can explore and feel like you're on your own, and have that little, you know, commune with nature and the landscape. And it's really beneficial, and photographing it is another way of deepening in that relationship with that space that you're exploring, and without distractions, of course. So those are my tips. That's the theme, quiet spaces. I hope you enjoy that. I hope you find the tips useful, and as always, I'm really going to enjoy looking at the photos, as everyone else does, that you respond to. And you know, as always, again, you can you don't have to stick to the theme. You can just send in your own photos on any topic that you want and share them on the Facebook group. We love seeing all the photos and seeing what everyone's up to. Ready for the jump. And that's me signing off really. I'm going to enjoy some quiet time without looking into a screen, and I look forward to seeing your photos. Don't forget to wait to the end and see some of the more inspiring photos that people have been sharing on the group.